This is CBC Here and Now.
Breaking news at this hour, fire at a home on Cashin Avenue in St. John's.
We're live at the scene with updates just ahead.
You drive the speed limits, you put your cell phones down, you don't text, you don't call, you don't reach for things, you don't eat your lunch, you don't brush your teeth. You're in control of the vehicle. Everybody needs to do their part.
It's one of the deadliest stretches of highway on the island.
But will better roads cut down on dangerous driving on Veterans Memorial?
When they ride in large groups or formations, there's a reckless disregard for some of our traffic laws.
Hell's Angels have hit the road.
But other biker gangs in the province are still riding strong.
It has been less than 2 weeks since a 39-year-old woman was killed in a single vehicle rollover on Veterans Memorial Highway.
And today, the provincial and federal governments announced plans to improve safety on that stretch of highway near Bay Roberts. Here and Now's Carolyn Stokes reports.
It's one of the deadliest stretches of highway in this province, infamous for the high number of accidents and fatalities, risk-taking and speeding. And today, government announced $5 million worth of upgrades to Veterans Memorial Highway it hopes will improve safety.
This is a first step, I think, in making some improvements to ensure more safety on this highway.
What kind of improvements? Well, one change will be the addition of climbing lanes.
It's really passing lanes on a hill. So what you will see is that would allow for much heavier traffic typically to actually move to the right-hand lane and allow faster moving traffic to proceed through.
And you know those rumble strips that warn you when you're veering off the road? Those will be placed in the center of the highway rather than the shoulder, a first for the province.
And it does sort of get your attention back to what you're supposed to be doing, is concentrating on the roads.
Those improvements are just what area resident Pauline Quinlan has been hoping for. She drives on that highway every day.
I feel like a kid at Christmas, to be honest.
2 years ago, Quinlan and her husband survived a deadly accident near Butterpot Park. They stopped to help people who were involved in a separate highway accident when a truck slammed into the back of them. 2 people were killed.
It was a very heart-wrenching moment for me. And I still think about the families that day who never got their loved ones to come home. And for me, that was an eye-opener. So something needs to be done.
So she started a petition calling on government to add passing lanes on Veterans Memorial Highway. Nearly 10,000 people signed.
Passing lanes are a huge help. I get stuck and I call them convoys of traffic when I leave home here, and I pull off this same stretch here at 7 every morning. And there's days that I'm stuck between 30, 40 plus vehicles, and there's a tractor trailer or a big dump truck, and there's nowhere to pass.
She knows accidents will still happen, but hopes a passing lane will mean drivers will take fewer risks.
It's not going to solve all the issues. People have to realize that no matter what, you're still in control if you're behind that wheel.
Well, Carolyn, as you said, it is a deadly stretch of highway, one that unfortunately we report on often.
We certainly do, and police haven't been able to give me specific numbers just yet on the number of fatalities, but we did go back through our archives and we found 10 fatal accidents since May of 2016, and that's starting with Pauline Quinlan's accident. Now, government also made another announcement today, another upgrade to Route 70 in Carbonear. They're going to construct 2 more right-turning ramps so vehicles won't have to cross oncoming traffic to exit the highway. Anthony?
Now to some breaking news in St. John's. Emergency crews are at the scene of a house fire in the city centre on Cashin Avenue. Here Now's Katie Breen is live at the scene. Katie, what's happening?
Well, I arrived just minutes ago to see this scene behind me, a house on fire. Now, most of the flames, it appears they've been extinguished. You can see smoke still billowing from the building. There are firefighters going in and out, smashing out windows, trying to extinguish whatever is left. There's foam going. There are people standing by. The police have shut down the road. They're asking people to stand back, but of course, there's lots of curiosity here tonight. People smell the smoke, They heard the sirens, they came out to see just what had happened. Now, I have very few details on how this started. I do know that there have been no injuries. The Assistant Deputy Fire Chief is standing by. I'm about to talk to him now to learn more, but for now, that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Katie. And as the story develops, we'll go back to Katie Breen live on Cashin Avenue. In other news, a big setback for the Hells Angels and an expansion for 2 other outlaw motorcycle gangs. That's the scene right now among what police say are criminal motorcycle groups operating in this province. Here Now's Terry Roberts is on this story, and he joins us live now with more. Terry.
Well, yes, Anthony, criminal activity, intimidation, danger on the highways. Police issued a warning today saying to expect this and more as the motorcycle season approaches. Police also disclosed how 2 outlaw gangs are expanding here in the province and how a third, probably the most notorious of them all, no longer has a foothold right here. One outlaw motorcycle group you won't see this summer is the Vikings. Once sanctioned by the Hells Angels, the St. John's-based Vikings suffered a big blow 2 years ago during Operation Bombard and has never recovered.
With the conclusion of that file, we did see the Vikings around for a short time, but then they were dismantled.
2 members charged with murder, accused in the 2014 stabbing death of Dale Porter in North River. Numerous charges against other members.
They did try to make a little bit of a comeback, but at this current time they're defunct.
Newfoundland and Labrador is now the only province that does not have a Hells Angels support club. But police revealed today that 2 other groups are expanding, and there is a strong connection to central Newfoundland. Bacchus already has a chapter in Grand Falls, Windsor. Now there's a prospective new chapter in Conception Bay South on the Avalon Peninsula. The Outlaws also have a chapter in Grand Falls, Windsor, and police say new chapters are being established in Bishops Falls and one at Bayside near Centerville. Conahan says both groups are 1%ers, criminal organizations that enforce their rules through violence, engage in activities that bring them into conflict with society and the law.
Is that to say that each and every member of these groups is a bad guy? No. Some are very cordial, they're respectful when you talk to them, but they do their own thing. And they operate under their own rules. What I would say is most concerning is the violence that's associated with it.
Police say it's the time of year when these gangs are more visible.
We're asking the public if they see any large group of potential outlaw motorcycle gang members to notify the police of jurisdiction, and then basically we'll send investigators out to check it out.
But a longtime gang member from New Brunswick dismissed the police warnings today, saying his group is unfairly targeted.
Wouldn't you rather sit around, watch a bunch of bikers drinking, eating hamburgers? That'd be a slack job, wouldn't it? On overtime money? Yeah, that'd be a good gig. Who wouldn't take that deal?
Now that was Charlie Burrell. He's been a member of the Bacchus Club for 30 years. He says they're basically a group where they eat and drink and party, and they have a passion for motorcycles. He says they love to do fundraising for community groups, and he says they have regular jobs. Yet he says they're increasingly harassed by the police. As Staff Sergeant Steve Conahan says, you only need to look at the number of charges, the type of charges that have been laid in this province over the last several years to recognize that these are not law-abiding groups. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Terry Roberts in St. John's.
The provincial government is calling it a tentative deal. CUPE is cautioning it's only a framework. Either way, a proposal has been written up and it's going to union members for ratification. It's taken months of tense negotiations, but CUPE's roughly 4,000 public sector employees now have an idea of what's on the table. The offer includes no wage increases in exchange for no mass layoffs, a change in retirement, health, and life insurance benefits for new employees, and the elimination of severance pay. Cutting that earned benefit will save the government money in the long run, but it comes with an upfront cost.
I can say here that we estimated the total severance payout at about $600 million. Based on preliminary numbers now and calculations, we will come in under that figure, considerably under that figure is my belief.
There are people out there who are hurting, and getting access to that money is probably very much a priority. From a norm, if I had to evaluate it as a collective, as a as a tentative deal in normal circumstances. With a 4-year wage freeze and losing severance, I probably wouldn't be doing handstands. It is what it is. I think our members need to vote on it, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
All right, where do I start with today? A really tough assignment. I had to go to a salmon river in Placentia, and it was gorgeous. Story I hope to have on Here and Now very soon. What a day.
You look like you got some sun today. Looks
a
good.
Little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Lots of sun we had out there. You know what today is? National Handshake Day.
Oh, is it?
So nice to meet you.
And you, and you.
And those clean hands? We work in a newsroom. Nobody wants to get sick.
I mentioned I'm on a river, and she's
I'm just giving you a hard time. You know what? You're absolutely
gorgeous.
right. What a beautiful day we had out there. In fact, with all that sunshine we saw some of those temperatures actually creep a few degrees above where they were anticipated. I don't think anyone was complaining about that. One of those spots, Badger, the high today, 29 degrees, and if you're wondering if those temperatures have been hanging on, they have been hanging on. Some of that warmth is still out there. It's going to be just a gorgeous evening in most cases. There's an exception. We do have this next system that's going to be moving in. Now that's into the later evening hours. This is starting to push towards Port aux Basques, Corner Brook. A little bit later on this evening, you'll start to see some of that spitting, some light showers in the sky. This is the next system we'll really be contending with across the island, but also we'll have some heavier rains that'll be pushing towards Labrador. And for some sections I see towards the southwest, we may be anticipating close to the border 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall there. Elsewhere, it will be some lighter stuff. But that's what's coming in for later tomorrow. You see some of it coming tonight for the west, but later tomorrow for the Avalon. In fact, most of Friday looking good over towards St. John's. Now, a look at the current winds. We know that those are coming up from a south to southwest. A little bit breezy at times, but we're going to keep that southerly direction. So we're still looking at some nice temperatures into tomorrow, even in those areas where we'll have some rain showers.
The former CEO of Nalcor, Ed Martin, is weighing in on the latest electricity development in the province.
Yesterday, power flowed for the first time along the transmission line from Churchill Falls to Newfoundland. In a statement, Martin reiterated the Muskrat Falls project will have long-term benefits for the province, despite nearly doubling in cost to more than $12 billion.
Now, Martin says he's always believed the project was never meant to cure all of the problems or create a huge cash flow in a year, 5 years, or even 10 years. He says Muskrat Falls was always a generational strategy with goals of becoming energy self-sufficient as a province. Now, Martin has been publicly criticized for his role in the Muskrat Falls project. 2 years ago, he stepped down as the head of Nalcor and was quickly replaced by Stan Marshall. And today, the Liberal government fired back at Martin. Natural Resources Minister Siobhan Cody says the government is working to manage the rising cost of electricity for customers and blames Martin for trying to rewrite history.
Well, it hasn't been smooth sailing for two new ferries between Newfoundland and Saint-Pierre-Miquelon. The French territory launched two new ferries in May at a cost of over $25 million each. But 6 weeks after their first crossing, vehicle traffic is still stalled. Here now's Chris O'Neill-Yates explains.
Saint-Pierre-Miquelon offers a taste of France, just an hour-and-a-half ferry ride from Canada. Cathy Simon operates a boutique specializing in porcelain. She welcomes the territorial government's plans to develop tourism and build closer economic ties with Newfoundland. The acquisition of two new ferries this year, she says, will help us develop even more because people can make the crossing with their cars. But that's not how it's working out. Instead of daily crossings filled with cars, tractor-trailers and recreational vehicles, these new vessels have sailed with vehicle decks empty every day for the past 6 weeks. Passengers are walking on and leaving their cars on the other side. The problem is here on the Newfoundland end of the ferry crossing. There's nowhere for vehicles to drive on and off because the dock in Fortune needs an upgrade.
C'est-à-dire qu'aujourd'hui, on peut embarquer des passagers.
The president of Saint-Pierre-Miquelon's territorial government says these plans have been in the works for 4 years. We have an important problem in Fortune, says Stéphane Lenormand. As of 2015, when we began building these new ferries, we approached the Port Authority in Fortune to prepare for their arrival. but unfortunately, the project is stalled because of a lack of financing. The federal and provincial governments have contributed a portion of the costs of upgrading and extending the Fortune dock. Both levels of government say it's up to the local port authority to raise the rest of the money, between $500,000 and $2 million. The volunteer board that manages the Fortune port declined an interview, but the mayor is talking.
It's been ongoing too long. The ferry is running. Work needs to be started. If we started work tomorrow, it would still be, next season really before we can handle traffic.
Charles Penwell says opportunities are being missed, while a plan to upgrade the dock remains at an impasse.
There'd be more freight going back and forth.
This all makes sense to Lenormand. He says we need to find a solution so that we can operate our ferries at 100% as soon as possible. With the tourist season in high gear, there's no telling when or if that's going to happen. Chris O'Neill-Yates, CBC News, Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon.
A young boy with a severe disability has been waiting months to be fitted with a specialized wheelchair, and now his father says he's fed up with the delay. Stephen Miller reports.
2 summers ago, Terrence Millay spent his time like any other boy about to turn 3, laughing, running, kicking around a soccer ball. Now, just 2 years later, Terrence cannot stand, sit, or eat without assistance.
Been in the hospital now for the last 16 days, and in these 16 days, he's currently lost his ability to speak altogether, and he's going blind slowly.
Terrence was diagnosed with late infantile Batten's disease, a terminal neurological disorder, in October of 2017 after he began having seizures. As time goes on, the seizures worsen, and there is a progressive loss of speech, sight, and motor function.
The day he was diagnosed, the minute that they were able to say, yes, your son has Batten's, they were able to say, yes, eventually you will need a wheelchair.
Terrence requires a wheelchair specifically designed for his exact dimensions. The chair was ordered in December and received on April 25th, but has still taken months to set up.
My understanding of the holdup is that currently there's a technician that isn't in, and the chair that Terrence has is a specialized chair. The cushion and the seating in it needs to be custom made, and currently there is no one in to custom make it. So 2 months later, and we're still waiting.
In an emailed response, Eastern Health declined to disclose how long the technician had been on leave, citing privacy concerns. It also acknowledged that finding trained replacements for the specialized position is difficult. Last week, Vincent was told not to expect Terrence's wheelchair before August, but that timeline has changed since CBC News started looking into the issue.
And the chair for him is literally everything. It's going to be his bed. It's going to be a place where he can eat comfortably. It's going to be his ability to be able to sit up and be around us.
Terrence received his chair today, after a lengthy wait. A happy ending for Terrence, but many families are left wondering when they will receive their wheelchairs. One of the problems is that while they wait, the child grows, which means their measurements may be different by the time the chair is ready. Stephen Miller, CBC News, St. John's.
What exactly do you call a beer brewed in Dildo, Newfoundland? It's top secret, but I'll give you a hint coming up on Here and Now.
We wanted to ensure we could do everything within the province.
And if beer isn't your thing, what about spirits?
Peter Cowan takes us inside the Newfoundland distillery for a look, maybe even a sip, of these locally distilled products. Well, let's return now to that house fire on Cashin Avenue in St. John's. That's where Katie Breen is reporting. Katie, what's the latest?
Well, I have more details now. I've spoken to a number of people. There were no injuries. The two people who live inside this house escaped before the fire department arrived. One is just standing next to me. The other, her brother, has gone to hospital. Kat, the person who lives here, says he inhaled more smoke than her, but everyone is fine. There were 3 cats who live in the home. 2 have been accounted for. 1 is missing. First, I just spoke to Acting Platoon Chief AJ. We have some tape from him now.
We received a call at 5:26 into the 911 center saying that a lady indicating her house was on fire. We dispatched 9 units, Central Station, West End Station, and as we came up Cashin Avenue, we saw a lot of black smoke. So as our crews arrived, they confirmed heavy smoke, heavy flame, mostly coming from the basement and the second level. They immediately went into attack mode. We took off 3 attack lines. We were fortunate to have that the 2 people inside had made their way out safely. So we're very fortunate for that.
Once I finished speaking with him, the person who lives in this house was actually standing next to him, and she spoke to reporters and told us what had happened to her. And here's some tape from her.
It started from a lithium battery, like an RC car battery. It was downstairs and it caught fire in the laundry room. My brother, he saw it when it first caught fire. It was like 6 inches tall, and he put a fire extinguisher to it. And then he put another fire extinguisher to it, but it spread so much that he couldn't put it all out. And so then it just kind of went up in flames.
Now, as you can see, she got out safe and sound. Her brother has been taken to hospital for observation. He inhaled some smoke, but appears to be okay. There are 3 cats, as I mentioned before, in the house. 2 have been accounted for. 1 is missing. Anthony?
All right, thanks, Katie. Now, as we head into the Canada Day long weekend, many will soon be kicking back with a cocktail or a beverage of some kind, and there are lots of local options to choose from spirits to craft brews. A growing number of Newfoundland and Labrador businesses are breaking into the liquor industry. Well, let's start in Dildo, Trinity Bay, where the owners of a new craft brewery are promising to make fun but tasteful products. Here now's Mark Quinn has more.
Brewmaster Lionel Rodriguez is in his happy place.
Making beer, beautiful beer.
Rodriguez has a lot of experience working in his family's business, the Rodriguez Winery and Distillery. But now he's branching out in a new direction.
I've been a winemaker. I've run a winery and distillery and nutraceutical plant for years. So it's just an ideal shift. I love beer and I'm really happy to be a part of this.
These are the tanks where the beer is brewed. Rodriguez says he's brewing a stout, an IPA, a red, a blonde, and a blueberry blonde.
Since we're in Dildo, Newfoundland, not everybody believes it's a real place sometimes. Right. So some American shippers have been holding us back a little bit, but it's all here now, so we're working it out bit by bit.
This is the pub where the food and pints will be served, and these are the taps they'll come from. But as you can see, the names of the Dildo beers aren't here yet.
No, it is kind of top secret right now. We're not opening till July 1st, and there's a lot of people curious about what we're going to call our beers. And so, yeah, we want to reveal it. The whole flight of beers we want to reveal at one time.
The Dildo Brewing Company will be one of a growing number of microbreweries in this province, but co-owner Angela Reid believes there's still plenty of room to grow.
We work together. If you come here and have a beer with us, we're definitely going to tell you about all the other places you can go to in Newfoundland and enjoy another craft beer with a whole different flair to it. So, you know, I would never describe it as competition, not in this industry, no.
The brewery is set to be open on July 1st, and hopefully the weather will be better that day than the day I went for a visit. Mark Quinn, CBC News, Dildo.
Well, from Dildo to a distillery in Clark's Beach. The Newfoundland Distillery has been open for less than 2 years, but already it's won international distinction. Now the company is branching out, selling its product to other provinces. Here now's Peter Cowan dropped by to see what it takes to make a spirit that's totally Newfoundland.
Then here's a little sample pot of juniper macerating.
The ingredients come from all over the province. This seaweed was plucked from the ocean floor off Burin, the juniper picked on the Avalon. They're even experimenting with chaga, a type of mushroom that grows on trees.
We're wondering about chaga gin, but actually initial experiments suggest it'd be better in a rum.
One of the hardest to find is also the most important. Barley hasn't been grown in Newfoundland, but the distillery got some help from a provincial government test project. Farmers grew it just for them, creating what the distillery says is the very first 100% Newfoundland spirit.
We wanted to ensure we could do everything within the province and source everything that we conceivably could here.
Peter Wilkins is originally from the UK, but married a Newfoundlander and moved here with his daughters, who he now puts to work behind the bar.
Salut.
He has more experience drinking the product than making it. He traveled the world trying booze for a British TV show, and he always wanted to run a distillery.
I mean, it's great fun to make and to try, and that one of the toughest jobs of running a distillery is the consistent tasting we have to do.
He's got Bill Carter in charge of the distilling. Originally, Carter wanted to make whiskey.
We haven't quite got there yet because we haven't quite got ahead of ourselves enough to have enough spare capacity to lay down whiskey for 3 years, which is what, you know, we really wanted to do.
They're too busy bottling vodka, aquavit, and gin with a distinctly Newfoundland twist. They never thought their seaweed gin would be a big seller, but boy, were they wrong.
I thought this was going to be the obscure foodie drink and would sell a couple of cases to people really interested in different flavors. And we're all rather amazed it's our biggest seller.
And it hasn't just been popular with the locals. They sent a bottle to the San Francisco World Spirits Competition this year and came away with a double gold medal.
We entered the competition really for a lark, thinking, you know, this is the big competition, we'll send it in and give it a go, you know, hoping we might get a sort of bronze or something. And whilst we believed our gins were fantastic and we should have won everything, you know, when we did, we were absolutely stunned.
That's helped boost their profile outside of the province. Their gin is headed for store shelves in Nova Scotia, and interest is pouring in from PEI, New Brunswick, and Quebec, but they still haven't found that time to make the whiskey. Peter Cowan, CBC News, Clark's Beach.
Well, we couldn't just send Peter all the way out there without having him at least sample the story.
No, he was reluctant,
Yeah,
but he did sit down with Peter Wilkins to taste some of that seaweed gin.
So how much do you think the popularity of the seaweed gin is about the taste, and how much of this is about the novelty of having a local ingredient that's in there and something that's different?
I don't know, that's a brilliant question. I think people like the idea and they're intrigued by it as a novelty drink and the taste, and so they try it, and then they're rather, I hope they're surprised by the taste, but they actually realize how much they enjoy it. But actually, I think people have it first, you know, as for the novelty and to test it, but they seem to really enjoy it because it is light and refreshing. It's not like every other gin. You've got the classic sort of gin notes, but it's not full of juniper. You've got saltiness, and I think it means it's slightly more refreshing, and you have it with pleasure and you barely notice you're having it. Or at least that might be me, because mine evaporate.
I would definitely like to give it a try.
I didn't see Mr. Cowan asking a lot of questions there. More kind of like a tough assignment, Peter. Live shot of the Narrows from the rooms. Nice day. Colette's next.
Weather Update is brought to you by Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 570 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
Welcome back once again, and we were talking about the lovely day that many of us had, but people will be very interested in your forecast for tomorrow because it's travel day for many.
Yes, that's right. It's a really good point, and we've got some different kind of things happening across the area, meaning that there's going to be a few little wet spots. So let's go ahead and take a look just at some of the heat from today. First of all, with our current temperatures, yeah, it's really holding on in central parts of the island. So Badger still 28 degrees, and Gander, you guys still there in the mid-20s. We had a high today in St. John's. It did pop up to 23, and you notice just dropping down there to 18 degrees, but still seeing the winds. Those are flowing from the south. We've had some significant gusts out there, some gusts 50, 60 kilometers an hour, but these sustained winds are pretty strong, over 45 kilometers an hour for us in St. John's, and seeing some significant ones for Bona Vista as well. Then taking a look at what happens and what we're going to see, this is the next system that's going to be moving in. I've been talking about how it would be coming. We're going to see it moving as it does from west to east. So it's not really going to affect the Avalon till we get into, we'll say Friday night into Saturday. So for travel day, not bad for the Avalon tomorrow, and not too bad central either. It's actually, most of us are going to squeeze out a really nice day. Temperatures will be a little cooler, but we're still going to have some warmth. It's just that we're going to have to contend with this coming in. It is going to affect you for western parts of the province. So here you go. We're having a look at the west coast. This is just coming in towards 11 p.m. This is why I've got some showers in there for Corner Brook. You've been socked in fog there today if you're heading up the northern peninsula. So St. Anthony temperature really struggled today because of that fog. We'll keep some of that into tomorrow, but also some rain showers. And then for southern Labrador, I was mentioning we even have a risk of some thunderstorm activity, and that's why there could be some heavier amounts in there, pockets where we see 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall. Otherwise, we're looking at, with this next system coming in, around 10 to 15. When I come back a little later, I'll actually show you what we're looking at for rainfall accumulations. But for tonight, this is your forecast then. Some of that fog redeveloping here towards St. John's, 11 degrees, those double digits all around. And there's St. Anthony, you just kind of stable there at 4. The temperature may actually come up as we head towards the morning hours. Cartwright 10 degrees tonight, some clearer skies there, but we know those rain showers are headed your way. Happy Valley Goose Bay at 13 and Labrador City 13. And for Nain, you guys, a low tonight, a little cooler there further north, dropping down to that 4 degrees, similar to what St. Anthony's seeing. Afternoon outlook for tomorrow, here you go. Not looking too bad, as we're going to see some of that rain as it comes in, kind of skirting just to the east there of Labrador City, but we are going to see those other areas where it's going to be tricky because you'll have some of those batches late in the day, then kind of a break. And then for Labrador, we do have that front that passes through too. So there'll be a break, it kind of clears out, and then we'll see more of those showers coming in, that risk of some thunderstorm activity. For St. John's tomorrow, 21, just slightly cooler. Still going to be, as I say, a nice day, most of it. That rain stays till later on into the evening hours. Gander, 22. Grand Falls, Windsor, 22 as well. St. Anthony will have some rain showers in your forecast there because of that system moving through. And Corner Brook, there's that potential. Also Port aux Basques. And you're looking there at a high tomorrow of just 12 degrees, guys.
Thanks, Colette. Terry Fox died on this day back in 1981. He was just 22 years of age. His achievements were impressive. During his Marathon of Hope, Fox covered 5,371 kilometers. He'd run through 6 provinces and was 2/3 of the way home to British Columbia.
He'd managed close to a marathon a day for 143 days back in 1980. The year after his death, his family came to St. John's, the place where Terry's run began, and they've continued to visit throughout the years. Here's a story by Red Sharon from 1990.
It was a day not unlike this one, 10 years ago, when a determined Terry Fox dipped his artificial leg in the Atlantic and headed up over Temperance Street on his way across the country.
If I don't make it, it's going to be something that nobody would make it.
For months he ran, thousands of kilometers, until cancer again caught up with Terry Fox just outside Thunder Bay, Ontario.
The cancer had spread, and now I've got cancer in my lungs. And we got to go home and try and do some more treatment.
But in those short months, he had reached a nation, sparked their imagination, and earned their respect. His memory has lived on in the Terry Fox Run and helped to raise tens of millions of dollars for cancer research. All this from a quiet, determined start in St. John's 10 years ago.
Terry once said, "If I die of cancer, some good will come of it." And I know that Terry is extremely proud and very happy of the way the Canadian people have continued his dream of finding a cure for cancer.
Today, Terry's family and close friends were back in St. John's to unveil the place where a new memorial to Terry will sit, and to remember just how special he still is a decade later.
Well, I think Terry would, he doesn't like being a hero. He's just a middle-class kid from Port Coquitlam who became touched by the cancer patients he saw at the hospitals and wanted to do something for them. He wanted to prove he could still do something on one leg, and
he sure did.
He sure did. And he's still, and I think he's running in the hearts of Canadians even today, 10 years later.
If I've had a part in pulling the whole country together, each province, that really makes me feel good. It was something, I dreamt of a lot of things on my run, but now it's something I never expected.
Red Sharon, CBC News, St. John's.
All right, now, serious story developing in the United States. Media reports say at least 5 people were fatally shot and others wounded.
This is going to be a long...
This happened at a newspaper office in Maryland at the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis. A reporter tweeted that a single gunman shot through the glass door to the newsroom and opened fire on multiple employees.
Reports say a suspect has been apprehended. For now, police are treating it as a local incident and not one involving terrorism. The FBI was on the scene helping local authorities, one official said.
The Capital Gazette newspaper is owned by the Baltimore Sun.
You see that radar there? Yep, not picking up any raindrops. That's called Virga, because it's sunny skies. I know we're a little lean on the icebergs, but how about whales? Let's see what we can find.
Well, welcome back to Here and Now. Well, sometimes Colette not only forecasts good weather, but she gets to actually enjoy it.
And by that walk in, you have your sea legs.
Yes, I've got them back. I've got myself back. And there were some moments, let me tell you, Debbie. Yeah, this year hasn't been the best for icebergs, and we kind of know that. So it's disappointing to some of the tourists or visitors like myself. But what about the whales? Well, I met up with some other CFAs and the captain of the Capo de Espera on my very first whale watching tour. So did we see any?
Well, I suppose there's two ways you can look at it. One is last year was a phenomenal year in icebergs. I mean, it was untouchable. I haven't seen as much ice and I've lived there all my life. We didn't start in Twillgate, which you know, is well known for icebergs, of course, until June 19th last year. This year we started early, so it balanced out. We started earlier. We didn't have as much volume of ice, but we still did have icebergs.
What about whales? Are we going to see whales today?
Well, you know, we don't guarantee, call it whales.
We don't?
No, but what we do guarantee is that if they're out there, we're guaranteed to find them, because that's what we do.
I keep saying I've got a crush on St. John's. Wow. I've got a crush on Newfoundland and Labrador.
You might have a crush on me, Tom. You never know.
So Grayson doesn't seem that excited necessarily.
I think so much excitement is just tired him out.
And tell us again what's brought you here, and it's not just you, right?
No, it's my wife's dad and stepmom have got a place out here. They don't live here, but her sisters and stepbrothers came out with everyone. So.
And they're locals?
No, no one's local. Everyone's from Ontario.
But just like to come here?
It's the first time we've been here.
Oh, and would you think you'll return?
We might, yeah. It's good so far.
So, it's your first time to Newfoundland?
Yes, first time.
Impressions?
It's beautiful. We're just still, this is our first full day. We got here yesterday. So this will be our first full day and exploring different sites. And looking forward to discovering and learning more about this beautiful part of the province of Canada.
Nice, very nice. Do you think we're going to see a whale?
I'm hoping.
Well, we've had a whale sighting, a real one this time, but I haven't seen the whale yet.
Oh! And you can still see the other one right in front. You see the green spot?
Yes!
Yeah. And wow, look at it.
Oh!
Wait for the other one, it will maybe follow.
Wait for the other folks at one time, the other one will probably take a beat behind. So just keep an eye there now. Look, we got an element. We have the male moving in, coming towards us.
Oh my gosh.
Mama's going down too.
Oh my gosh.
And another one.
Perfect, just like clockwork.
Oh. I'm like holding my breath because I want to see the tails again. Hey, Captain. About that crush? You flirt, you.
You're a good sport.
Was that you? Was that you screaming the loudest?
I'm sorry that I was so close to the microphone. Yeah, we saw a pod. So there were two male protectors, a mother, a baby, and then they said an aunt. So who knows? A couple of women, females, and it was just humpback whales, incredible. Yeah. And I learned several things. The muscle of their tail, the strongest muscle of anything that exists on Earth.
Really?
I didn't. Yeah, that's what they said. I think ours the strongest is the tongue, but for on Earth,
depends who you're talking to.
Yes. Or if you can talk and try.
I'm glad you had such a great time.
It was amazing experience.
Wonderful.
It was fun, but it also it almost made me tear up. It was just a beautiful day.
That's fabulous.
Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me.
That's great.
Keeping tabs on Canadians crossing the border.
Ottawa pushes through legislation that's raising serious concerns about your privacy rights.
Time now to meet our athletes, young athletes of the day. Firstly, this is 5-year-old Luke Penny, a hockey player with Bishops Falls Minor Hockey.
And here you can see Luke proudly sporting his first medal after a big jamboree.
Great job, Luke, and congratulations.
And let's meet a 6-year-old Miles White from St. John's. He loves hockey, especially the Montreal Canadiens. Miles plays with the St. John's Caps Minor Hockey Association.
He also loves soccer and plays in the Mount Pearl Timbit program during the summer.
Congratulations, Miles, on being one of our young athletes of the day.
Well, Wales, hard act to follow.
Yes, I've never seen such a sight in my life, so I'm still kind of trying to get beyond that, I guess, but I don't want to. You know what, can I just mention one thing? I didn't have my phone in my hand because I had Sherry Vivian, our photographer, with us, our photog. And so I really got the experience, and that's something that I noticed. You get the experience. I so often have that phone, so that was kind of nice.
Good.
Well, some people look at their phone for the weather. I hope you're paying attention to me right now, and we're going to tell you what we're looking at, because we've got that heat. The heat, there's been special weather statements. You know, I've been talking about these for the Maritimes and for Ontario and Quebec, and that the heat advisories would certainly be put out. And sure enough, we've got now heat warnings back towards Ontario. If you're doing any traveling through this weekend, just know what you're going to be going into. Temperatures into the 30s, but the humidex, it's going to feel like you're into the mid-40s. It's really something to take seriously. But that's not only if you're headed towards Ontario, that's if you're headed to many portions of Quebec and into the Maritimes as well. Well, we feel like we got some of that heat today. These current temperatures, the temperatures drop now to 18 in St. John's. That's what we're still looking at. 18 in Halifax, by the way, and 16 in Fredericton. So it's not quite there yet, but boy, it is coming. They certainly had a nice day today. First, we have to get through this system that's moving through. It's why we're seeing that southwesterly flow that we have, but it's also bringing in some wet conditions. So as we head through tonight, I've been talking about that fog for St. Anthony up the northern peninsula. We'll see some fog actually returning towards the Avalon as well, and it'll start to burn off tomorrow morning. So not a bad day, but perhaps just a little cooler than today. But those rain showers pushing in across the northern peninsula. That chance, I put it in there for you guys at Corner Brook, but most of the precipitation, the heavier stuff, is pushing northward with a risk of some thunderstorm activity in there as well. And in some of those pockets, that's where I was mentioning we could see 30 to 40 millimeters or so. We'll show you the precipitation model here in just a second. Now, into Saturday, most of this moves away. So for the east, it's going to be an event Friday evening beginning and into Saturday morning. Saturday morning, likely a little wet, and then we see this clearing trend. High pressure begins to build in. So as we look towards Canada today, we do have some rain showers, especially all along the south coast. So from the southwest over towards Marystown, that potential. I'm taking this all the way towards Friday first into the afternoon hours. There's the heavier rain, some of that potential as it's moving across the border there into southern Labrador. But then as we roll through Friday night to Saturday morning, this is what I mean for the south coast. You see some of the heavier amounts through here. There are areas where you may see 35 to 40 millimeters of rain before it's all over with. For the Avalon, it's going to be more like 10 to 15 millimeters of rain. So we'll look through western Labrador for your forecast. 19 degrees for tomorrow. We do have some of that scattered shower activity and through the holiday weekend. And then as we look to the east, 19 for tomorrow, 21 Saturday, 19 on Sunday. For memorial services, just know there could be, so for those observation times, you know, a little bit of light shower activity. It's something to be prepared for. Western and then central Newfoundland with that chance of showers. Temperatures a little cooler than those highs we saw in central Newfoundland through today, but still pleasant tomorrow, and then warming back up into Saturday. And for St. John's, I mentioned we're seeing that rainfall. So Friday night into Saturday, 5 to 10, possibly 15 millimeters of rain, and then we'll see things clearing out. Anthony?
Thanks, Colette. We now know the date for a meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Next month, July 16th in Helsinki, Finland. In a joint statement, the Kremlin and White House say the two will talk about a range of national security issues. Trump has said they'll also discuss the war in Syria as well as the situation in Ukraine. Their summit comes at a time of strained relations between Russia and many Western nations. However, the Secretary General of NATO welcomed the meeting, saying dialogue is a sign of strength.
Queen Elizabeth has missed a public event today due to her health. Buckingham Palace says Her Majesty was feeling under the weather, which is rare for the 92-year-old monarch. Just a couple of days ago, she attended a ceremony for the Queen's Young Leader Awards. This morning, she was supposed to attend a special service at St. Paul's Cathedral. The Duke of Kent represented her instead. A palace spokesperson says the Queen is not seeing a doctor, and she'll be spending the weekend in Windsor as she usually does.
And here we go. Where in Newfoundland or Labrador might this photo have been taken? I kind of hope it's not out our back door. Yeah, take a guess and just remember to keep the photos coming to nlphotos at cbc.com. We'll tell you after the break.
Vegetarian bear. Where is it? Labrador.
They look so cute from afar.
Labrador, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Central.
Well, escaping the police by crawling through the ceiling looks easy in the movies, but when a woman actually tried it this week at a convenience store in Spruce Grove, Alberta, well, guess what? Things didn't exactly go as planned. Here's how it turned out. The store owner, the store owner had called police when he suspected that this woman and a man she was with were using a stolen credit card.
While an officer wrestled with the man, the woman ran into the back room, climbed up into the ceiling, and of course, as we saw, she crashed into the shelving below and quickly gave up. No one was seriously hurt.
Ooh, I wonder if she fell into the Band-Aids.
Pretty far. There she was. Oh, that is quite the tumble.
The
Considers
apple
her options,
dumpling gang.
and then
Crime doesn't pay, people.
No.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Wow.
So, photo of the day.
There wasn't very much of a hint as to where this was, Colette.
Yeah, yes, I know, that's true, that's true. But you guys somehow, when you don't have much of a hint, then you get it right. So have a look where this is, near Northwest River. We thank Shane Hurd. So this is on Lake Melville, and he was driving on his way back towards Happy Valley, Goose Bay. I don't recommend getting out of your car to do this, but what a shot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm assuming he did not stand up with his phone and go.
No, he said he was back a fair distance.
Oh, it was great. Thanks very much,
shot.
Shane, for sending it in, and thanks to you for being with us. Have a great night.
Good night.
See ya.